He speaks out of two sides of his mouth, and if he could have his way, he'd speak out of four sides of his mouth.
Pro boxing fans, we are here in Riyadh. It's a day before fight day. Beterbiev versus Bivol. With me, Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren. Frank, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
I do want to ask you, Frank, a year ago, when the start of Riyadh season, you called it a game changer. A lot of people are saying Frank Warren, he's talking a lot of nonsense. What's the game changer? MMA fighter against a boxer. A year later, we've seen why the game has been changed. My question to you is, the first meeting with Turki Alalshikh, set the scene for me. How was that? What was the conversation?
It was quite enlightening, you know, all what his plans were and how he was looking to change what was happening in boxing, getting people work together, making fights happen, delivering to the fans, and as far as he was concerned, making Riyadh season and Riyadh the world's capital of the big fights, which he's done in a year, well, even less than a year. He's turned this into any big fights where they happen, it's in Riyadh and it's Riyadh season. And we spread it by going to LA for probably one of the biggest cards to take place in America for many, many years, and certainly with Wembley, with that record-breaking event that took place there.
Frank, even in your head, did you anticipate it to go this quickly? Because a year later, we've seen some phenomenal fights, like you just said.
No, I didn't. I've got to be very honest. I knew it'd be a game changer, but it's been an absolute game changer, no doubt about that.
I'd rather be in your shoes today than Eddie Hearn's shoes, because yesterday Artur Beterbiev stuck it on him, and we know Artur's quite a scary person. What did you make of that exchange in the press conference?
It was good. I mean, I like it, and you know, Eddie got something out of him. You know, he does all his talking in the ring. Beterbiev, he does it, and he does it in style. There's no doubt about that. You know, the most perfect record in boxing: 20 fights, 20 knockouts, and he did get some dialogue going. So that's what you guys are all looking for, and that's what we're looking for as promoters. You know, trying to catch the public's opinion. He's one of those guys that does his talking in the ring. So don't miss it on Saturday, because this fight is going to be a special fight. 4 belts on the line. I think it's the first time this century for 4 belts in the light heavyweight division against 2 undefeated fighters. And we see what happened the last time we had a unification fight with the belts all on the line between 2 undefeated fighters, and what a classic that was between Usyk and Tyson.
Talking about Usyk and Tyson's done an interview with Undisputed, the game, and said, listen, last time around, you know, there was a little bit of a cause for concern with the cuts. We might have had to be slightly careful, but this time around, everything's hunky-dory, everything's going to be fine. If we're going to see 100% Tyson Fury leading up to this fight, do you expect a different type of fight going in December 21st?
He's in a very good place, Tyson. There's no doubt about it. He knows what he's got to do. He knows better than you, me, or anybody. He's a student of boxing, and he knows he's got the key to beat him. I believed that in the first fight, and I thought at one stage he was actually going to stop him at the end of that 7th round. But it wasn't to be. It was a fight of 2 halves. But we're in a situation now where, you know, both of them, they experienced 12 hard-fought rounds of each other in a split decision, very close fight. This time round, who's learnt the most, who's going to negate the other guy's best moves and so forth? I believe that'll be Tyson. One thing for sure, it's going to be, if it's half as exciting as the last fight, it's going to be a burster, but I think it'll be even more dramatic.
Frank, just run down the undercard for me. It just got announced maybe 2 days ago. Some heavyweights on there. Just
you go for him, and I'll tell you what
talking about your charge, Moses Atuma, on a big stage again. Obviously, the one that you're looking to push next. Talk to me about him quickly.
It's a big step up for him. He's fighting a guy who's only lost 1 fight. He's a seasoned professional, southpaw. And as far as Moses is concerned, he's still a teenager. So this is a step up for him. In his last fight, he's only lost McLean. He went 12 rounds got into the 12th round with Hrgovic, and you've seen Hrgovic in that fight he had with Daniel. You see how dangerous he was earlier in that fight. He went into that as an undefeated fighter. It was for an interim title, as was the fight. An eliminator test for the fight was with between Dempsey and Hrgovic. So this is a massive step up, and we're gauge where he's at. This is his toughest fight by far.
Final one fight, there you go. Ben Shalom, who's been on the top table yesterday, called you and Eddie Hearn Lovebirds, called you one organisation. What do you make of this notion from Ben?
What do I make of the noise of him?
The notion that...
Well, he says lots of things, doesn't he, publicly? When you meet him, he's just a complete and out Charlie. He's got nothing to say. When you meet him, he just hides and cowers away, because that's what he is. He says one thing publicly, and the next thing is he speaks out of 2 sides of his mouth. And if he could have his way, he'd speak out of 4 sides of his mouth.
Frank Warren, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for talking to Pro
Pleasure.
Box, man. Thank you very much.
Cheers.